Here we are, episode 24, To Hell with the Podcast. It's Tuesday if you're listening, and it's Saturday morning for Daryl and I as we record. Hope everybody's had a great week. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, I'm here with Daryl. How are things going, man?
They're going good. It's been a long morning. Just for some reason, just sleep wasn't happening, so that's cool. But yeah, it's all good. I woke up before my daughter has to be at work at 6:00 on Saturdays, so I was up before she was. So that was, and as we speak, my wife is still asleep, which is great for her. So whatever. So yeah, it's just just gonna be a chill day. So
Yeah, I know. Here in Georgia, it's supposed to be raining all day. I mean, it's just crazy. Yesterday, where I'm at, it got to be 83 or 84 degrees, and tomorrow's high is supposed to be 40.
dude, yeah, just hang out for like 10 minutes. It'll change one way or another. Cause yeah, it was like 73 down here yesterday, and then next week it's supposed to be in the 40s. I'm just like, okay, yeah, this is where I live. It's cool.
Oh, and it was funny. As you know, I was traveling this week, and there were people that were here coming from Iowa or Pennsylvania, I mean, where we were. So they were coming down here like, oh, this is great. I mean, even though it's like 50 degrees in the morning, which isn't cold, but, for me, it's still put a quarter zip on or something like that till it warms up in the day. They were showing up, no coats, and like, oh, this feels great. And I'm
Well,
like,
I
yeah,
mean,
you picked a good week to come down here.
yeah, I mean, like we talked about it last episode. We were supposed to be in Pittsburgh last week, and they come down here and it's 50. They're probably just chilling.
That they were. That they were, and I tell you what, though, this week, I'm glad I don't have to travel. I actually get to be here at home for a week, which is
Good.
nice.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, which I will be honest with our listeners, as I texted you last night, I said, "Yeah, I didn't listen to this album as much as I listened to one as I'm getting ready to prep for it, just because it was one of those weeks. I'd wake up in the morning, I was going till I got in the bed, and it was like that every single day. And then I get home last night, I'm exhausted, or I get home Thursday night, but then yesterday I worked, and then last night my brain is just mush from the week. I was like, I just want to sit here and veg. So I did listen to it a few times, but I don't know. I felt like I'm not as prepared as I normally am coming into the show. But we'll see how it goes. We'll roll with it, and we'll see how today go, how this morning goes.
Hey, man, I got you. I mean, I totally understand what you're saying. Cause yeah, I was like, I usually start listening to whatever the topic is on like Thursday or Friday, and I didn't do that until like 4:00 this morning. So, but I've listened to this album 3 times since 4:00 this morning. So it's like making my making my notes and all this stuff. All right, let me do a quick stupid thing. So there's a lyric in a Shinedown song that says it's 4:03 and I can't sleep without you next to me. And so I actually took a picture of our oven with the clock on it when it said 4:03 and sent it to my wife this morning. She's like, "You've been up this whole freaking time." I was like, "Yeah, well, it is what it is." But no, I just thought that was just a funny, stupid thing from this morning. So anyway,
Yeah, well, I told my wife this morning because, we had the little man running around, and he's usually up early, on a Saturday morning, 7 o'clock or so. And now he's getting to that age where he'll come into our room, see if we're awake. And if we're not, he'll just go back to his room and play and do something. So this morning when I woke up, it was like, it's after 8 o'clock. This feels great.
dude, I slept till 9:15 yesterday, and I'm like, I don't even know how that happened. I mean, because I'm usually up like 4 or 5,
Yeah.
somewhere in there, and like I was like, wait, I didn't take any drugs or anything, did I? At least I don't think I did. So yeah, it was just like, how the heck did I sleep till 9:15? But hey, I'm making up for it today. So
Yes, your body said, "We've slept too late yesterday, we gotta get up early today." So that's what ended up happening with you,
Yes. Yes,
but
yes.
no, we've got a couple of things. Now, I do have to ask you this. I will tell you this. There is one thing that I listened to quite a bit this week, and it was a song, but it was the new song coming from the Master Plan, Lord. Did you get a
Yes.
chance to listen to
Yes.
that this week?
I did. Yeah. No, I
The Go ahead.
go no, in first.
For me, okay, so keep in mind, as Michael Sweet's been talking about this album that's coming out in April. This is not a hard rock album. This isn't a heavy album. This is an inspirational album. And so my mind is already knowing that it's going to be an inspirational album. This isn't going to be like his typical solo records because I think he's prepped us well enough to say, don't expect that. This is
Right.
what's coming. And when I heard this song, I think I probably listened to it like 4 or 5 times in a row right when I heard it. I went because I had Monday off, and that's based on last weekend. We recorded on Monday, and so I it came out while we were recording, I think, and then I listened to it while I was packing. Then I went into the living room and turned on the TV and played it for my wife, and she loved it. That is but it's just like this. I don't know how to describe it, but this just gospel type sounding song with the guitar solo that he cuts. Somebody asked him on social media, who's playing with you on the guitar parts or something like that. And it was him doing the solo on this guitar. I mean, on this song. Lyrically, I think it was solid. Vocally, I think it was a solid song. And it was just a kind of I love the groove of the song. And I thought, like, hey, this is going to, and some people were like saying, hey, I saw some people say, hey, this reminds me of your album Real. A couple of people had said that. But overwhelmingly, people have said that they love the song. And that's where I fall. I liked the first one that came out, The Master Plan. This song, I loved this song.
Yeah, this song
I, I
yeah.
think it's better than the first one that he released.
No, I agree, and I like your, the word gospel and fitting it all in because it's not a huge song, but I mean, it definitely has, like, a gospel feel to it, and then you add, the extra elements, as far as the instruments to it, and yeah, I like it better. I like this one better than the last single for sure.
Yeah, and with this one too, shoot, it went down. Let me find this real quick. And the other thing too with this song is it looks like he's going to be releasing another song off the album. I had this up. Let me find it. Give me just a second.
Oh, I hadn't seen that.
Uh, hey guys, is that it? I think this is it. Yeah. So he posted the other day, this was on the 19th, so this was just a couple of days ago. I need your help. Follow this link. Listen to all the samples and let me know what single video you would like to see released as the fourth single. The next song to be released is Again. You can't listen to it from this leak because they made a mistake and added Faith twice. Maybe that's a good thing. But other than that, take a moment and listen to these samples and let me know what song you think should be released after Again.
Goodness
I'll be
gracious.
I'll be checking throughout the day to see what your answers are. So he's got a third single coming out called Again. Then he's going to release a fourth one, but he didn't give a date in this, so I don't know when Again will be released. But the samples are at the master plan on Apple Music. So if you go to Apple Music, yeah, you've got previews for all of the songs in here.
Wow. Man, the music business is just insane.
Yeah, I know. Part of me, part of me wants to, and I'll be honest with you, I'm struggling with this because part of me wants to go listen to the samples, but then part of me wants to treat this as it's 1980 something and the album's coming out in April. The only songs that I'll know will be the ones that he's released by that time. And then the other ones are a surprise.
No,
I,
I get no,
I feel like I'm kind of
I totally get it.
opening
Yep.
opening an early Christmas gift or birthday gift by listening to the samples. So I'm kind of like, I don't want to listen to them.
Well, I mean, but we're older, so it's like it, going to the record store on release day, and all that kind of stuff, and that's the world we grew up in, and that's not the world we live in now. So,
I
but
know. And it's just like, I just don't want to take away because for me, because this is going to be a different album, there's just that excitement, that anticipation of what's to come with this album.
I agree.
And, and I mean, you have a very different vibe from the first song to the second song. So it's just like the anticipation of the next song. How's that one going to flow in and how's that one going to sound? So, because I mean, you've got the track list. Of course, you got the master plan Lord, which is the second release. Then, according to Apple Music, you've got Stronger, Eternally, You Lead, I'll Follow, Desert Stream, Believer, Again, Faith, Worship You. So it looks like there's 10 songs on it. And so it's, I think it, I mean, if he keeps going in that direction, like the way Lord did and Master Plan, I think this is going to be a good track, a good album to listen to.
No, I do too, and now that we're talking about it, I'm wondering, it's like, all right, can I just like step back and wait for the whole thing to drop so I can just listen to it, from top to bottom?
Yeah,
Because I,
not even listen to when he releases the next single and the next
yeah,
singles because
I'm about there. I'm not sure yet, but because the last single was really good. But yeah, I don't know. I do still have that thing in the back of my head where it's like, oh my gosh, so and so's, delivering a whole new record, and I'm just like, all right, cool. Let's go listen to the whole thing from top to bottom and see what's up. But that really doesn't happen that much anymore, so that's unfortunate, but whatever.
well, I mean, it goes back, and I know we've talked about this before, but when we were growing up, it was like all of it because we didn't have social media. Unless you were part of unless you mailed in and wanted to become part of the fan club, you didn't know what was going on with your bands. And then it could be like, hey, I haven't heard any new tunes from so and so in a couple of years. And then all of a sudden, you would hear something on the radio and then you're like, okay, I guess they're coming out with a new album soon. Or it was they were releasing a track to a movie soundtrack or something like that. But most of the time when you heard something new, you would hear you would hear that new song. So it just kind of triggered in your brain, oh, they must be coming out with a new album. And then I would go check with the record store, or you would hear it on MTV or the radio, like,
Right.
hey, new single from their upcoming album. And typically, it was only one song they released before the album came out. But nowadays, you've got artists that are releasing 3, 4, sometimes half the album is put out as singles before the entire album even comes out. It kind of takes sometimes that takes away the element of surprise or like you said, wanting to go in and just like not hear these tunes and just be able to listen to them from top to bottom all at once for the first time.
Yeah, I have certain artists, like, I mean, Seven Dust is about to come out with a new record. I've heard the first song that they dropped, but if there's anything else that comes, I'm not I'm not doing it, because also I'm going to see them in April with Alter Bridge. But yeah, there's certain folks I'm like, I want to hear the whole thing because I know you like figured out how you wanted to sequence it, and the mixing and the recording and the liner notes and all that kind of, I still enjoy all that. So because I'm a nerd, but I mean, it's it's still fun to like get like, here's the whole package. So I still enjoy that kind of stuff. I mean, yeah, I do enjoy listening to the singles when they come out, but there's certain artists I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna wait till they package it and put it all together, and then we'll see what's up.
Yeah, I mean that's how I like to do it too, because as you know, I've told you before, and for those that are listening, I usually order the vinyls now,
Yeah, me too.
because I got the record player. So I honestly have 3 vinyls that I've pre-ordered that I'm waiting on. Well, one of them's not going to be a surprise. It's going to be the remaster of 5150, but I've got 2 other ones that I'm Wait, well, one of them's the master plan. Like you said, you get all of the notes, you get the lyrics, you get the thank yous, you get who did what on the album,
Yeah, that's the
and
that's the fun part. I mean, he was doing what? What was happening? Who was, who was running the board? I mean, all that, all that kind of stuff. I mean, I just I don't know. And again, that's nerd stuff, but I enjoy that.
yeah, I mean, that's what I enjoy doing too, because I mean, sometimes, and I've said this before, sometimes, some artists, I don't need to follow along with the lyrics. Other artists, maybe some songs, I do need to follow along with the lyrics to understand exactly what they're saying. And I still do that. I get the album, follow along with, I sit down like I'm 14 years old in my bedroom and turn it on and have it sitting there, and I just read along with the lyrics. Because then the next time I hear it, it's like, oh yeah, that's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. Because I can usually listen to it once, maybe twice, before I pick up on exactly what they're saying, so I remember it going forward.
Well, hell, I mean, now on Spotify, I mean, it just reads the song for you as you're listening to it.
Yeah, I mean yeah, that's if the lyrics are on there, because there are still some songs out there. It's like I wonder what the lyrics are, and it's like, oh man, they're not here.
Yeah, not every song, but yeah, most of pretty much a lot of the songs are on there. So yeah, it is cool to be able to kind of read along with that stuff there. I enjoy that feature.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed it, and because as you know, I've always been a lyric guy, so I've always wanted to know what the lyrics are saying, because to me, that's more. I mean, musically, there's certain styles of music that I like. However, lyrically is what draws me in and creates that, I don't know if attachment or that emotion or that what the song is, speaking to me, but that's what draws me into the song even more, is how is this song speaking to me right now where I'm at? How is this, song with it? Because one of the things, like with the Lord song, some of the comments that I saw on that was like, gosh, this song is just what I needed to hear today.
Mm,
You know? I mean, there's
yeah,
that lyric in there, "If he's for us," I'm not saying it exactly the way he said it in the song, but it comes from scripture. "If he is for us, who can be against us?"
right.
I mean, if you're down and out, it's like, yeah, so somebody brought up that, so I mean, those kind of lyrics are what hit home, and that's why lyrics draw me in. Or, it's tugging on my heartstrings or whatever it might
Well, I
be.
mean, it's you don't have to
It's an
be one or
art.
the other. I mean, that part of the reason that when I was going through the lyrics and some of the songs we're about to talk about, and it's just a consistent, just strong lyrics, strong singer, and it does pull at your heartstrings. And if you have a band, but I saw this thing this morning, and this is totally off aside. See, it was Nuno Bettencourt, Zach Wild, Slash, and I can't remember the freaking heck. I can't remember the guy's name, but there was no singers on stage. They played Bohemian Rhapsody with all the harmony parts.
Oh
Like
my
it
gosh.
was absolutely insane. So yeah, just imagine that. There's no Freddie Mercury on stage, but they're singing all that they're singing. I mean, that's yeah, basically. I mean, and there's 3 and 4 part, like, stacked harmonies, and it's like, "Oh, you do that? Oh, Steve Vai." Sorry, just my favorite guitar player ever. Sorry, Steve. But, yeah, I mean, it was just so stupid, but it's like, there's I don't know. I don't it was a really amazing performance by everybody, but anyway, I'm getting it back on the rails now.
No, no, I'll have to go check that out, because that would be interesting.
I'll send
Interesting to
it to you.
hear. But yeah, so I mean, the master plan coming out April. I don't remember the exact date. If you haven't pre-ordered it, you can pre-order it at Frontiers. I don't know if it's on Michael Sweet's website yet to pre-order, but just if you follow him on social media, I mean, he's constantly being posted about, because that's what's coming out
Yeah, he's
here in the
busy.
next.
Oh, that was the other thing that I saw since we're on the Stryper news desk. I saw a post from him and I actually sent it to you. It was uh
Arnell.
Arnell. Yeah, was singing Honestly. And Sweet posted's like, "Well, it kinda sucks when somebody can sing your song better than you."
I know. I saw that because I saw that before you had sent it to me. Because and I had seen this before as well because when Journey picked up Arnell, I started researching him a little bit more. So I even found it way back then
Oh, okay, cool.
on YouTube and was listening to it then. But I mean, if you haven't heard Arnell, and if you're not aware, the Arnell we're talking about is the lead singer of Journey and has been the lead singer of Journey for over a decade now.
But
But,
we're about to get Steve Perry back, apparently.
well, I don't know. Steve Perry came out with a press release saying, I'm not coming back in.
But well, I saw another press release where it says he's open to it, but I'm like, I don't I don't know if he can sing that stuff anymore. I mean, if he thinks he can, then freaking go for it, but who knows?
If he
Arnell's
was,
awesome.
but if Steve Perry were to come back in, that is one ticket I would go buy, like immediately. But that's just kind of what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting to find out who's going to be the lead singer on this tour that they're doing this year.
Yeah. No, it's Journey's a I don't know. They're a weird bunch of cats, man. It's like there seems like there's always some kinda drama just kinda all the time, so I don't know.
Controversy going on with them. Yeah.
Yeah, controversy, that's a better word. But, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, who
The
knows?
only thing is, if I were to go see him, I'd have to make a little drive to go do it because they're not coming through Atlanta on this tour, which is weird. They're going like to Savannah and
Yeah, I saw that too. That is some weird routing. Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't come here. Maybe there was a schedule conflict or something. I don't know.
but yeah, so if you haven't seen it yet, I mean, this is what Michael Sweet posted. He said, "When the singer of one of your favorite bands sings your song better than you, I love this guy, Arnell Pineda. I think that's how you pronounce his last
Pineda,
name,
yeah. Nah,
but
man. I
yeah,
mean,
so go listen to it if you haven't.
he's got a sick voice, dude. I mean, if you can sing like Steve Perry, you're probably pretty badass. I mean, so I've never
Okay,
okay.
I want to ask you this because I know this is not Stryper related, but Michael Sweet did post something about this. And we talked a little bit about lead singer replacements last week.
Mhm.
Alex Van Halen has come out saying, "Hey, we've got this old stuff that I'm going to release. Who is he going to get to be the singer?" Because it's like you might be releasing this old stuff, but which I want to hear because it's Eddie, you know, and it's them. But it's just like you want to have the right singer, and it's just like, are they going to be able to get the right singer in?
Well, okay, so that
What have you heard?
prompts a couple of questions. I thought these tracks were already done and it
Y-
just hadn't been released. So that is not the case.
From what I have read, musically they're done, lyrically they're not.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
And
So
if
that does
somebody's heard different, correct me on that. But that's what I've worked because I mean, even Michael Sweet said this: whoever does this, it needs to be someone who can deliver the vocals, the passion, and the conviction. Who would you
okay.
choose?
Oh gosh.
And then it
Man.
also said Alex Van Halen is looking for new singer.
Oh my word. So who's gonna so this is archived Van Halen, which means it's gonna be on fire. Who's gonna
Well,
sing this? Who's gonna sing the songs? Oh my
what I've read about the archives, it's not Michael Anthony, it's Michael, Eddie, Alex,
Alex.
and Wolfie.
Right. Yeah, I did see that piece of it, but I guess I missed the part. I thought the songs were like finished. But man, who's good? You know what? I don't care what a crappy situation that dude got stuck into. Gary Sharon could sing this crap. I mean, I it's the first thing that popped into my head. I don't know. I've just he's been more out there since Extreme Six came out, and
Yeah.
I I think he's kind of underrated as a vocalist. Um, hmm, who else?
Because that's the interesting thing about Gary Sharon. If you go back and listen to him, the thing I liked about Gary Sharon as a lead singer, since they got new lead singer. I mean, I know there's a lot of people, Sammy, and I mean, all that kind of stuff, never should have left and all that other mess, but it happened. Gary Sharon came in as Van Halen 3. And if you go back and watch some of the videos of a concert or concerts they were doing in Australia, I think it was, listen to him sing the Hagar stuff and listen to him sing the David Lee Roth stuff. He could pull off both of them really well.
Yeah,
Plus the stuff that he sung.
no, I totally agree. I mean, yeah, he has like he's got that three or four octave range in it, and he knows how to control his voice also. So it's like he's not going to burn out or anything like that. But he's a I mean he's a very professional singer. He's not just like a rock star. I've always appreciated what he brought to whatever project he was doing. So because I'm a big Extreme fan, and I don't hate the Van Halen stuff. I just think he was put into just a screwed up spot.
Because I mean, listen to some of this stuff that he was singing when they were on tour. I just pulled up a set list from '98. Unchained.
Ooh, my favorite Van
And
Halen
then
song.
and then Without You, which was a um, Gary Sharon
That
song.
was on, yeah.
Mean Street,
Ooh,
When It's Love, Fire in the Hole, Why Can't This Be Love, I'm the One, Jamie's Crying, Human Beings, Somebody Get Me a Doctor, Here's the
dang.
Day, Right Now, Ain't Talking About Love, Josephina, Panama, You Really Got Me, Jump. He was doing a mix because if you think about Hagar, Hagar would only dip a little into the David Lee Roth stuff, meaning typically Panama and Jump. David Lee Roth never dipped into the Hagar stuff
Well,
from
because he
my
couldn't sing it.
knowledge, but Gary Sharon was just based on this set list was doing some major hits from both sides.
Did that before. That's an amazing set list. Somebody Get Me a Doctor. I mean, I love that song, but yeah, I mean, the mix of all that is pretty cool. I'd like to go on YouTube and watch that concert.
Yeah, and that's where because I remember when I got into my Van Halen 3 thing not too long ago, I kind of went down that rabbit hole and I was like, he really did because I never saw Van Halen 3, live, but when I watched that, I was like, he could now I see why they chose him as the singer because he could pull off the
Both eras.
entire era of Van Halen versus just his segment.
Yeah, no, that set list is pretty insane. I mean, because you got stuff going back to women and children, and you got stuff going all the way back or all the way up to current. And man, if he could actually pull all that stuff off, I mean, I've never seen it live, so but I know as a singer, he's not taking any of that lightly. So
Yeah. Yeah, you're totally right on that. So, but yeah, it was something that was that's been going on this week, and then Michael Sweet posted on it. So I just wanted to get your thoughts because I mean he would definitely be a choice, but I'm just like, golly, who could
man, I don't know.
fit in that?
I'd have to think about that a little further. I mean, not I mean, I know we're like, hugging on Stryper, but Michael could do that stuff, but would he want to? I don't know.
Oh, I think he would be all over it.
I mean, he could kill it, but whatever. So I don't know what the relationship with the Van Halen camp and, Michael and all that stuff is, but yeah, I mean, he could totally do those songs, but I was trying to think a little bit outside the box. I don't have it yet.
Yeah. I don't either. I hadn't thought about it that much, but it's just an interesting thing. But while we're on the news desk, if you haven't seen this, there are some tour dates with Stryper coming up this year in 2026. And let me just share it with you for those that are watching on certain platforms. I mean, you got the Monsters of Rock Cruise, Frontiers Rock Festival. I would actually love to go to that, but that's in Italy. That lineup is pretty killer. And then you got Illinois, Indiana, Texas, and Wisconsin, a few dates. Uh, splattered through June, July, and into October. I would anticipate more dates coming out because, as we all know, they've got an album that they're working on now. So they will probably, if everything lines up, I would assume that they would probably be doing some kind of fall tour in support of that album when it releases.
Yeah, you would think. And that Artist Theater in, was it San Antonio? That place is sweet.
Yeah,
So,
Aztec Theater. But yeah, one day I'll get on the Monsters of Rock cruise.
man, I don't know about those rock cruises. They sound fun in theory, but I was talking to the wife about it. She's like, "Do you wanna spend 4 days with, like, 5,000 metal fans?" I was like, "You know what? You may have a point."
Yeah, this year the lineup on the Monsters of Rock cruise doesn't really do much for me.
I
You
haven't
know,
even looked at it because I'm I'm at the point where I'm just kinda like, "You know what? I'm not doing a cruise. I might do a festival at some point, but I'm not doing a cruise."
yeah, because I mean, there's just, I mean, there's some stuff on here. I mean, there's not enough bands. Like, there's maybe two or three that I would be like, yes, I really want to see them,
Can you put
and
it
the
up?
others, it's just kind of like, yeah. Let me pull it up.
Because yeah, I haven't even looked at it, but yeah, it's like I think that's kind of like, all right, BLS, Symphony X, YNT. God, YNT is on every cruise. Slaughter, Quiet Riot, Steven Adler's. All right, Great White. Who? Wait a minute.
I know who's still an original member from Great White.
Pastor Pussycat. All right, digging that. Dangerous Toys. Vane. Oh my word, Vane.
I'm not familiar with Vane.
They are a very underrated band that never got the love that they needed. Um, and they they got hot when I was working at the record store, so
Got
I
it.
was I was able to listen to that thing and oh, Tough. Jeez, who the heck knew Tough was even a thing? Enough's enough. Man, there's some yeah. All right. I mean, it's Queensryche's on there. I mean, it's not horrible.
It's not, but I guess what I was saying was for me, there's not like enough. Like if these people were touring solo, there's probably one, two, three that I might go see if they
Night
were by
Ranger.
themselves.
Oh, dang, and Night Ranger's on there too.
Yeah, that is one of the ones that I would go see. But there's so many other ones on here, like you said, Vane. I'm not familiar with them. There's so many that I wasn't familiar with. I was just kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah, this is probably more of a yeah, this is more something that I would be into than probably you. Because yeah, there's a lot of, like, early '80s, like, "Oh, yeah, okay, we still gotta make some money, so we'll go on this career."
Yeah, because I mean the when you go to, let's see, the Frontiers one. Of course, that's in Italy, so I'm not going to Italy over there.
Yeah,
I guess
Italy's
this
on
is just everybody that's kind of on the Frontiers label.
hey, that might not be a bad time.
So that's what this isn't pulling up in a minute. Oh, here it is. Yeah, it's this year. When, where? Yeah, so you've got, I'll share this with you so you can see. Night Rangers on this one as well.
Man, Night Ranger's just like they just don't stop. Starship, John Corabi. Alright, what else? House of Lords, good night.
Again, a lot of these I'm not as familiar with, but
See, this is a
this
bill
is,
I'm less familiar with as well. So, see, Night Ranger, Starship, Stryper, Karabi, who used to be the lead singer of Motley Crue for
yep,
a
for
minute.
one album.
Yeah.
His new
Um,
song is really interesting. I actually really like it.
okay. House of Lords had a couple things. Giant had a couple things.
Don't forget Nelson.
No. Oh my dude, they've been making their rounds lately
Yeah.
on podcasts that I've been listening to. I'm like, wait a minute, what? So, I mean, I
I
didn't
mean, I
hate the
reckon
I didn't hate the songs they came out with.
I mean, I recognize more from the Monsters of Rock cruise,
Yeah, me
but
too.
to me, though there still wasn't enough there. It's like I'm waiting for something where if I was gonna do something like that, there's a heck of a lot of the bands that I'm familiar with that I would wanna go see.
Yeah, the Monsters of Rock cruises. I mean, it was always interesting to see the bills, and I knew a lot of those bands, but yeah, just I don't know, man. Going and doing that for a week just sounds stressful.
Oh, this is interesting. Okay.
What do
This
you
is
got?
interesting that just popped up. So, first thing that popped up because I accidentally went out of Facebook and I came back into Facebook and it says Tim Gaines breaks the silence.
What?
And it says written by Tim Gaines. And I read this earlier this week, but it said he said this is what he said. It's no secret that Michael and I have had our differences for many years. But this morning I saw a link to a new song that had been promoting and decided to listen to it. So I think he was talking about Lord. As I listened and read the lyrics, my heart melted and I cried, as I do a lot these days, and felt a sense of liberation from everything. We can't change the past, but God changes the heart, and we move forward in Christ. New beginnings, old things pass. Forgiveness comes as the Lord can give. It doesn't necessarily mean restoration in a relationship, but it does allow me, to move forward in love and peace.
Dang. All right.
Yeah, and it was the song Lord because the link in that, took it yeah, he was talking about the song Lord.
Hmm. Well, good for him
Because 'Cause we've
to
talked about that before briefly about the final breakup, and there was a whole bunch of mess that was going on there, and not within from what you read, not from within the Stryper camp, but there was just some personal stuff going on with Tim Gaines, and it's kinda cool to see these types of things and him just moving forward and just like, hey, we may not ever restore the relationship, which sometimes we're not called to do. Sometimes it's okay not to restore the relationship, but you do need to be able to forgive and move on.
No, yeah, totally. I mean, if the relationship is busted beyond repair, at least you can get to a point where, I mean, you can at least kind of move forward. So,
Right.
yeah, that's good. That shows, growth. So, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I'm glad to hear you say that.
so it was just funny. Like I said, I just pulled Facebook back up, and there's this picture of Tim Gaines and Michael Sweet right next to each other. This is what I saw when I pulled back up. So that was kind of just
That's funny.
like, there we go. Here you go. Right there.
There we go.
But
Two
all
cool
right. So,
two cool mofos right there.
yes. And we are getting ready to get into,
Eventually, we'll get it.
I know, 40 minutes in, and we're finally going to be talking about the Stryper album we're covering today, which is The Final Battle right
The
here.
final battle.
This one I actually have signed by Michael Sweet and Perry
Uh,
Richardson.
all right.
This this is the one that this is one of the items that I took with me when we went and saw Michael Sweet at his acoustic show,
Right.
and Perry Richardson was there as
Oh,
well, so
that's
I was
right.
able to
Yeah, yeah,
get his
yeah.
signature. So not only his signature, but I was able to get a picture with him as well. But what's always kind of when I look at this, let me that reminds me right there of one of the kings in the Fellowship of the Ring when they're trying to rediscover the ring. Every time I look at that, that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of one of those people from Fellowship of the Ring.
It's a very epic. It's the art around the record is very epic. So yeah, I don't disagree with you.
So I will say this, my I was looking at this morning, and my son came up, who's 7. He came up and, another epic album cover, but I think just because of the way the eyes are and the way it is, he was kinda like, "That's a little disturbing to me."
Was he looking at an Iron Maiden cover or something?
So, I didn't wanna get into the, trying to explain it to him at that moment in time, but it was just kinda funny, but, like I said, every time I see it, it just reminds me the front one was always reminded me of Lord of the Rings. But I will say, when it came to the final battle, I remember when this album came out, this one came out in 2022, a lot of people were like, "Oh no, the final battle. It's Stryper's last album."
Retirement, yeah.
People were starting to kind of freak out that it was going to be Stryper's last album. And Michael Sweet had to come in and say, "No, no, no. It's just, the title is biblical. It's not a goodbye." And I mean, again, it's kind of funny. What did we talk about last week? We talked about Fallen last week, and you had some really biblical themes in there. And I think it's interesting when you look at the back half of their catalog. As a matter of fact, I still got the Fallen sitting here in front of me. It's really interesting because you go back starting with No More Hell to Pay, and how there's always kind of maybe not a theme on the album, but there's always seems to be some kind of end times type song.
Uh,
Like you had Revelation, you had this, and now you have, honestly, you have a whole
you got a few.
album,
You got a few
a
on this one.
few
Yeah.
that are geared towards kind of an end times type thought process. And it's interesting. So again, final battle was not, it's our final battle, it's our final album. Because trust me, I don't trust me, but my bet would be, if it's going to be their final album, they will say, "This is our final album."
Right.
They won't just make an album and then never make another one and make their fans wondering what the heck happened. Their final album I'm sure we will know that it is going to be that their last one.
Yeah, they're really good at communicating with their fans, but yeah, there were a few songs on here that, I mean, there's a lot of biblical references, which I always, hey, give me a give me a Stryper song that's built around a biblical reference. I'm down. And so there were a few on here, so I was digging it, but yeah, it's who knows when they're gonna be done. And this was like when they were going through some stuff, I think. Wasn't this when Oz like kind of started having health issues? I think. I
I want to say yes, but I can't 100% say yes. But I do know at this time, this is when Michael was dealing with the eye stuff, the detached retina.
yeah.
And I mean, if you look, well, it's not in here, but if you watch the lead single from this album is Transgressor, if you go watch that video, he's got the eye patch on.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
so he had the surgery, I believe, when he had that done and did the video. So yes, I think Oz's stuff is kind of a continuous on and off thing. So you're probably right. I'd have to go back and determine.
I can't
But
I can't remember if it was like the beginning or we were in the middle of it. So, anyway.
yeah. But again, I mean, one of the quotes from Michael Sweet on this was, "It's not our last album, but it's a title that carries a lot of weight regarding the times we're living in. The final battle, the final days. I mean, all of that kind of stuff." And he wanted the album's imagery and lyrics to reflect that spiritual urgency in regards to the times we're living in. And I think that's what the theme is around.
Yeah, there's a lot of imagery in this record, which is, I mean, I'm down for it. So, yeah.
And
So,
so,
let's get
what
into
were
it.
your overall thought? Yeah, what were your overall thoughts on the album just as a whole before we get into the songs?
As a whole, I haven't revisited this album very often, but when I was doing it this morning, I freaking love the production. Everything is like across the board. I can hear Perry doing all his Perry stuff, and I mean, I I was there were some times where I was like, "Okay, Michael," because I mean, he produced this record. So but just the overall mix, that was my first note, is like, I love the mix because a lot of times the rhythm section will kinda sit in the back, and when I was listening to a couple of these songs, and I wrote that down as well, Perry's, like, kinda out in front doing his thing, and I'm just like, "Whoa, this" that was my top of mind opinion about this record, and like I say, I haven't listened to this one as much as a lot of the other ones, but when I was listening to it, since I've been up since 3 o'clock, yeah, it's. I mean, I love the evenness of how they produce this, of how Mike produced this record. So yeah, that's my overall thought.
Yeah, I agree with you on the Perry stuff, the rhythm. I mean, the bass on several songs just stands out. You can just hear it just
Yeah,
plucking away at that bass. And
but
I
it's
just
just
think again,
well, it's the same way that in the early days when you used to, I mean, think, oh gosh, crap. Now I'm having a brain fart. When you used to hear Tim Gaines out in front,
yeah.
it's the same kind of production as what you used to listen to. That was like, all right, that's cool. It's it that's what it reminded me of. So
And my thoughts on this album are this. I like the album. I think it's a good album. I think the songs are really good, but like you, it's not one that I revisited a whole lot. Like when I think about how much I listen to Even the Devil Believes or how much I listen to Fallen or When We Were Kings. This one, when we come to the second half or the second era of this band, this one probably I don't want to say is my least favorite, but because I do like it, but it's not the one I am always going back to grab and listen to again. I listen to it less frequently than I do the other albums.
yeah,
And again, I'm not taking anything away from the album, but I think part of it is I felt like on other albums that they did, there was some kind of connection that I could have with the songs. Like, and I think coming off of the Even the Devil Believes release, where you had all this crap going on in the world and they're doing songs like Do Unto Others, Divider, and it's like, yeah, I can relate to that. That's what's going on in my life. That's what's going on in the world, all these other kind of things. And then of course they had this I Pray on it. I felt like with this one, it's like I'm digging the lyrics, but they're not, creating that emotion and that's just for me personally. And I'm not saying I'm sure there are other people who, connected with this better than I did. So that's why I'm just saying that's for me is why it's a good album, but it's not one that I typically go back and pull off the shelf and listen to. But I'm
man,
not taking away anything from the production, the music, the lyrics. It's just I have other ones that I just connect a little bit more with.
wow. Okay, so we're gonna be probably in lockstep on this because I feel exactly the same way. So,
So,
lyrically, this album is it's a Stryper record. It's gonna have strong lyrics, and it's gonna
yeah.
have Mike doing Mike things, but there there wasn't like there was a I mean, there are a couple songs that hit me, but like you say, on the back half of the catalog, it's not my favorite. But not to say that it's bad.
Yeah. I mean, we're always going to have, I mean, and that's the thing people have got to understand. We're always going to have our favorites, and we may differ on what our favorite, you and I differ a lot of times on last week. We kind of lined up with our top 3 or 4 songs, but we differ on what we like. And we're not saying that one is bad over another one. It's just, this is just our flavor, and this is what hit us more.
Right.
It's just like it's like if you go to church, that message didn't really resonate with me. Doesn't mean it was a bad message. It's just like it didn't resonate with me as much as this message did, or what this person said. So it's kind of the same thing here. It's a great album. Again, it's like you said, it's a Stryper album, but it just didn't resonate with me as much as the other albums did.
Yeah, and not to say, I mean, and that kind of speaks to the bar of this band. It's like this album is really good, but it's like
Yeah,
I think at the end of the day, we have a certain expectation for a Stryper record, and this, not that this one fell below the bar, but I mean, it just, I don't know, and like you just said, it didn't hit me because usually when I'm listening to a Stryper record, it'll hit some song will hit me somewhere somehow, and there weren't like, I don't there's one song on this album that kind of punched me in the chest, and that was it. So, and but there's a couple of good love songs on here. I mean,
yeah.
again, this isn't a bad album.
No, no, and I don't want anybody to think that because that's not what I'm saying. I don't think that's not what we're saying.
No,
We're not
absolutely not.
saying like they're not. We're not saying that this album came out and it sucked. It wasn't Stryper. It bombed. I mean, we're not saying that at all.
No,
It's just
not
how
at
it
all.
resonates with us, and I'm kind of like you. I mean, there are a couple of tracks on here that really did, you know, kind of hit me, but I
Yeah,
mean, how can you? I mean, come on. Typical Stryper album. I mean, the
it's
first track
usually
on the album when Transgressor with that 15 to 20-second Michael Sweet signature scream. I mean, come on. I mean, that is just so there are a lot of amazing things on this album. So please don't take us wrong and don't
no,
write,
no,
you
no.
guys don't know,
There are some amazing performances on this record. I mean, yeah, don't get us wrong, but it's like we have such a high bar for this band, and if it's even a little bit lower, but I mean, I made a bunch of notes, so there's a bunch of stuff going on here that is amazing as usual. So,
yeah, it's what's interesting was for every Stryper album under the Stryper discography, there is a Wikipedia page where you can read about it on every album, except for this one. This is
except
the
for this
only
one, yes. What the
except
heck?
for yeah, this was the only one that didn't have anything Wikipedia. Not that I pull all my sources from Wikipedia, but when I'm prepping for this, I usually go to Wikipedia just to see, some things that were being said, maybe some reviews, all that kind of stuff. But
What?
it's
Yeah, I usually go and it's like, all right, so who else did production? I mean, were there any backing vocal people that we don't know about and all that kind of stuff? There is nada for this record, which is
no, there's none.
I don't understand
There's
why.
not even a page for it.
No,
It's like if you
there's no link. I was going down there this afternoon and I was like, all right, cool. This record. All right, cool. We're doing this one. There's no freaking hyperlink, and I'm like, what in the actual? But yeah, because I usually kind of try to get in the weeds with producers and backing vocal people and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, there was nothing for this record.
so let me just say this. I just went and I just said, show me reviews on the final battle. And it says here, released in 2022, the album currently holds a 4.8 out of 5-star rating across major retail platforms. So again, not a bad album, but it's just the way that it resonated with me.
And that was on Frontier, right?
Yeah, this was on Frontiers.
Maybe they just had crappy marketing.
Yeah, possibly so.
So
But Frontiers usually does a good job
they
about
yeah,
getting their stuff out
yeah,
there.
absolutely. They usually do a pretty good job for stuff like this. But
But 4.8 out of 5-star ratings across major retail platforms, according to this, that's, you know, and it's been overwhelmingly positive. So, and one of the reviews said, critics described the sound as a shift away from 80s bubblegum hair metal, which I think they had pretty much been shifting away from on the second half of their career. So that's kind of a stupid statement. It's like, is this the first album you've listened to
He's not paying.
since
Yeah, he's not paying attention.
1980s? But towards a more harder, more modern, heavy metal style, and comparing to Judas Priest and Dio, which we've been saying
Oh
about the
my gosh,
second half of their career.
I have so many Judas Priest notes on this record.
So, but let's get into it. Let's talk a little bit about this album song wise. 11 songs, looks like it clocks in just at about 46 minutes, which again
Which is
is
awesome.
what I like. So let's get into it. 11 songs, number 11, man. What did you have as number 11?
This is why I love this band, because I started getting in the weeds. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to rank these songs. I'm gonna put Same Old Story at the bottom, which I like the song, but this production of this entire record is so good. I don't think there's not a skipper on here. So I mean, it's just like, all right, where do you put him? So, and for me, this is like a heavier song than I would put at the bottom, but it is where it is. So, but man, and we'll get through this, but Mike's vocal work on this record, holy moly!
I know his vocal work on this one is just outstanding.
Well, there's some, I've got some more notes when I get higher on my list. He is just blowing it up. So, yeah, that's at the bottom, and there's like I say, there's not a skipper on this record for me. Which is interesting because there's like two like just straight up love songs on this record.
Yeah, but one of the love songs is not your typical ballad.
No,
if you haven't heard this album before.
Yeah, which is kind of why it's cool. So, so that's what I have at the bottom. I'm gonna be like really warm and fuzzy about this record because I don't dislike any song on this record. So, but they got to go somewhere.
Yeah, they do. They do. And I actually have this. This particular song, I've got this one ranked higher than what you do. And I think for me, coming in at number 11, it's like you said, I like the songs on here. They just got to drop somewhere. And it's Out, Up, and In.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to be way off on that one. I like this song a lot.
Yeah, and again, I'm like you. I don't have any skippers on it, but it's just got to fall. It's just got to fall somewhere. The stuff is going to be somewhere, and I like the song. It's just literally talking about this song, if you haven't really listened to it, in the twinkling of an eye, it's talking about what people, if you're not familiar with the Bible stories or anything like that, it's really talking about the time when Jesus returns and calls all the believers home. This is another final end days type song. Lyrically, it's very solid, Bible backing lyrics, but for me, this one, just, they've got to fall somewhere. And this is where this one fell for me. Because even when I first listened to it, I was like, yeah, this is good, but it just wasn't my favorites. It didn't rank as one of my favorites on the album.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair enough. When I'm doing my notes, I usually do like my top 4, and then I pull everything else down. But that was in my. We'll talk about that more later. But yeah.
So, Out, Up, and In was for me. Was there. Moving on to number 10. What did you have at 10?
I have a See No Evil. And it was just kind of the solo's good, but I don't know. It was kind of just whenever I do my bottom list, I put like at the back of the sentence. So it's a good song. It's just not the best song, and the solo is really good. But yeah. So it was just, and it's kind of plotting, which I don't really get down.
It's kind of more of a just a mid-tempo kind of, I guess you could just say, kind of a stomper kind of song.
It's kind of that, and that, and I might have been in a mood where I wasn't trying to listen to that right then, but it's not a bad. Lyrically, it's definitely not a bad song, and I don't think there's a lyrically bad song on this album, to be honest. But yeah, it and it kind of sounds like a Dio song. Holy God, that kind of crap. And
yeah,
that's not usually my jam. But I mean, lyrics really good solo. So that's where it falls.
Yeah, and one thing I do want to say this and I didn't see this in my notes. I just pulled it back up. That during the making of the album, it was physically and emotionally taxing because of the health struggles. And it says during the writing and recording process, Oz Fox was dealing with brain tumors. Michael Sweet was recovering from a detached retina. So yes, according to this, he was dealing with that at this point.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I didn't verify my sources or anything like that, but yeah, I thought that's where we were dealing with Oz. So, but this really reminds me of a freaking Dio song for sure. Especially,
yeah. Where did I did read. Oh, you know what's funny is you say that. One of the notes from the reviews that I just pulled up, it says, "See No Evil, Hear No Evil" is praised for its Dio-era Sabbath influence and memorable chorus.
I mean, that's what it sounds like. You got the gang vocals, you got the chunky. I mean, it sounds like a Dio song, which, yes, they are not wrong.
And I'm not as familiar with Dio. He wasn't somebody I listened to a whole lot.
No, it's cool, man.
Back in the days, so...
dragons and swords and all that kind of stuff.
But yeah, so my number 10 was actually, I was like, oh, they did a remake of a Huey Lewis song when I first saw the title track, but I know that wasn't the case when I first saw it. But for me, it was Heart and Soul. And if you haven't heard it before,
man, you got that way lower than I do.
I mean, I like it. Don't get me wrong. So there's
some vocal work in there that is. I want to say he's going like 4 or 5 octaves. He's doing some work on this song. I love this song.
Yeah, and then this is where one where you can just hear Perry thumping in the background with the bass.
Yeah, he is kicking.
And I mean, it just really, this whole song. I mean, I do like as they're getting into the chorus here, how it kind of transitions, kind of the tempo of the music, and he kind of goes a little bit higher with his octave, with his singing. But just Heart and Soul. It's just to me, this song's just really talking about just total commitment to him and how you live.
Yeah, I had my notes for this song were the solid lyrics, the drums were great, and there's a falsetto piece, and I think it's at the end. But holy crap, he rolls up like 2 or 3 octaves, and I'm just like, okay. I mean, I know you're a great singer.
Yeah, and I think I mean, again, even though this is as I said earlier, this is an album that doesn't necessarily like pulled it like you said earlier, punched me in the chest like some of the other songs they have on some of the other albums. I think overall it's a very solid album, and I mean, I'm listening to Heart and Soul right now, and I'm like, yeah, this is a really, really good song.
Yeah, it's interesting because usually we're used to like having like 2 or 3 songs that like just kind of punch us in the chest when we're listening to a Stryper record, and this isn't a bad record. It's just it's a solid record, so it doesn't punch us in the chest like we're used to with other Stryper records. So, I mean, maybe a little different flavor, and that's, you know what, that's cool.
And I'll say this, a lot of times when we're, just so you know, we don't, Daryl and I, as we're listening and prepping for this, we're not, yes, we are talking to each other, but we're not talking to each other about what we're prepping for. So coming into this show, for both of us to be saying this was not planned or planted or anything that we talked about beforehand. It's just, this is our real honest reactions, and this is the first time we're hearing each other talk about this album and any album that we talk about. But for both of us to come in here and say it's not punching us, you know, and pulling at our heart like the other albums, you know, have songs that they do, it's kind of interesting. Both of us walked away with that, you know, kind of thought process with this.
Well, I think it's the first record that we talked about that is just, it's not kicking us in the chest, but it's like, it's very solid, very even.
Yeah.
And so and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but but it is what it is. It's not punching us in the chest like a lot of other records that we've discussed previously.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just I think for both of us to come out and feel the same way and not having talked about it pre-recording.
It's weird.
Not to talk about it pre-recording. I think too, that's what kind of made it kind of hard for me to rate some of these songs, because I always have those songs that just like last week, Yahweh, you know, it's going to be at the top of my list, or, you know, on Even the Devil Believes, you know, number 1 there, or even the top 3 or 4, you know, I always have those standout ones because I could relate to them so well.
Well, and
or,
they might
you know,
punch you in the chest.
Yeah, it might punch you in the chest. And that's what made this one kind of more hard to rate for me, because it's like, I like the songs, but they're all kind of,
no, I get that,
flowing down the same stream for me.
No, I totally get that. I feel the same way about this record. I have my top 4 are locked in, but everything else was like,
I don't know.
yeah, no, I mean, seriously, it was, you know, and then you have one of my best album titles ever, No Rest for the Wicked. So that's going to be my next pick. But
No Rest for the Wicked?
Yep. Because, you know, it's not my favorite Ozzy album, but it's pretty close. And it just kind of, I don't know. There's some songs on this record that kind of just plod, and I don't like when the song is like just you know, it feels like you're carving a piece of cheese or something. I mean, it's just well, I mean, when you get below a certain BPM, you kind of lost me. And so this is one of those songs that was like, geez, man, this is like 112. think, if I had to guess. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. Just lyrics are good, the solo is good, but I don't know. The tempo, I think, was the problem for me.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying on that one. I've got this one ranked just a little bit higher than you on this one, than I do than some of the other ones. But so this was, and again, this is just where early 80s, you lean more into the hard stuff. I leaned more into just the rock kind of genre. So this was an Ozzy title album, is what you just said. What year did that come out?
That was the first year with, dang it, that was the first Zakk Wylde album. So that would have been 86, 87, I think.
Oh, so it was that late.
Yeah, well, he was like 19 when he started playing with Ozzy, but yeah.
Oh, wow, he was that young?
No, he was a child. But he's still amazing.
Yeah,
but,
studio album. I'm just looking it up here. Yeah, it was actually released in 88, according to this.
Okay.
Yeah, Zakk Wylde. Wow.
Yeah,
I'm just looking at this.
Yeah, he crushed that record. So it's one of my favorite Ozzy records for sure. Because Crazy Babies is on that record.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is
a
ridiculous video and a ridiculous song. So
yeah, so coming in at number 9 for me, I mean, it's another song that I like. I think it's good. You've already discussed it, but I think I said I rated this one higher, but I made a mistake on that one. But I came in at number 9 with Same Old Story.
okay.
I was looking at something else if I said that earlier and misspoke, but I didn't have it rated higher than. I mean, it's rated higher, but it's not rated as high. I think I said I had it rated even higher than this, but I misspoke on that. But no, it came in number 9 for me. Same Old Story.
So, give me your thoughts on this song.
Again, I really like the bass on it. I really think that it came in really good. I'm looking at my notes here. I mean, it's just lyrically, the thing I like about this song, even though I ranked it at number 9, is just how like the title says, it's the same old story. And it's just that repetitive cycle of trying to get out of the rut you're in, and the failure that you're in. And it's just like, I can't seem to get out of it. And it's the same old story. And unfortunately, I can relate to that, because
we all can. It's fine.
And then just looking at, the mistakes that I've made and opting to do my selfish deeds instead of doing and letting my pride come in and stuff like that. So I like the song. It's just, I think for me, kind of like what you said, I just kind of find it a little bit repetitive as it's going through versus a song like, I'll just say it, a song like Yahweh. That's just my thoughts on the song overall.
Well, yeah, I think once I get past this is music nerd stuff, and I'm sorry, but once you get lower than 128 BPM, I think you kind of lost me, because we're at probably 125 right here, and I'm sorry, this is just totally music nerd stuff, but I just like you were just saying, I mean, Yahweh is, I think it's 165 BPM. And so, once you get to like just the slow, just plodding kind of thing. I mean, lyrics are great, but it's like, we gotta move this train forward. So,
And for somebody who is not a music nerd, BPM is beats per minute.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, yes, beats per minute. So, but yeah, I mean, it's for me. I just have a thing in my brain, and so that's how it works. But other people can, applaud this song the way they want to, and it's a good song.
Yeah. Well, like you said, there's no skippers on the album. It's just they fall where they fall somewhere. And again, somebody might be listening to this and going, "Wow, you guys ranked this one as low as you did," and maybe it hits them harder than this song hit us.
Absolutely, man. If I am never gonna be like, "Oh, this song hits you different than it hits me," then let it hit you that way. Then that is totally fine. I love that kind of stuff. So,
because I go back and I think about Soldiers Under Command. I think that was like one of the first albums that we did when we were doing this.
Yep.
And we get to that part, and I remember my number one was Reach Out, because lyrically that song just punches me and hits me just because of what it says. And that's like one of my all-time favorite songs by them, especially from the early days. And some people may be like, yeah, that doesn't want, it's not as hard for me. I like the other harder stuff, and stuff like that.
Man, everybody's got their flavor. It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna go see Slayer, and my wife's looking at me sideways. It's like, why are you gonna go see Slayer? Because it's freaking awesome. But it's like, but you're doing a Stryper podcast. Like, I love music.
Well, let me say this really quickly. This is one concert that Daryl knows he doesn't call me up and say, "Hey, you want to go see them with me?" Because he knows the answer will be like, "Yeah, no."
What I would
hard pass. And it's not, and it's just that is so much harder than my typical flavor. What?
Yeah, but if I called you up and it's like, "Hey, man, you want to go see Slayer?" You tell me no.
I would tell you no, man. I would tell you no.
But if you called me up and said, "Hey, man, you want to go see Bryan Adams?" I would probably go with you.
You would?
I think I would, actually. I mean, and then I would call you and say, "Hey, man, you want to go see Hall & Oates?" I think you would say yes.
Oh, I would definitely go see them if they ever got their act together again.
Well, we just saw them was it 2 years ago? They were awesome.
Yeah, but then they ended up suing each other or something.
No, it's a
song rights thing or something.
It's a show. But anyway, where are we at?
We are rewinding back to number 8.
So, man, this song, I actually will say this one kind of hit me. So it's Till Death. I liked it because I like, obviously, the lyrics. I'm a freaking softie when it comes to talking about stuff with my wife and marriage and all that kind of stuff. But this one kind of hit me because there is a spot where they do the Mike's kicking, doing Mike stuff. But there's a section of the lyrics, there's the dual solos in this song, and the bass feels like it's more in front almost, just from a sound perspective. But Mike is doing some work here, but everything just it sounds like just a very complete song, and the fact that it's at this point on my list shows you what a good record this is.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree with you on this one. I think I've got this one rated next. I'd have to see, but this was another one. I mean, it was like, again, when I saw the album tracks, I was like, hey, this is a remake of songs, because White Lion had a song called Till Death Do Us Parts.
Fair enough.
And then you've got the Ozzy reference, No Rest for the Wicked. You got Huey Lewis in the News, Heart and Soul. I mean, there's just like a lot of different titles on this.
There's a lot going on. Yes, absolutely.
I know it's but this one I do like this song. This song is good. It's a different, like you said, it's a different love song, and I just love the tempo in it. But I don't have this one rated here.
If you go listen, and freaking some of the stuff Mike is doing on vocals is ridiculous. But yeah, if you go and listen to this on Spotify, it has the whole telestrator thing of the lyrics. I was like, dude, this is like a pretty cool love song, and there's 2 love songs on this record. So
yeah, and the other one is I've got the other one ranked higher than Till Death Do Us Part, but looking at number 8 for me. You've already ranked number 8, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but it's No Rest for the Wicked. I mean, you said kind of some of what my notes had on it, but I mean, again, this is what made this hard, because I don't want to say it's what made it hard, but all these songs are solid.
Agree.
When it comes to the layout, the lyrics, and everything like that, and they've got to fall somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the first record we've had like where it's a really, really solid record, and it's like, all right, where do we put all these freaking songs? Because there's no hits. I mean, not really. I mean, obviously we have our favorites, but yeah, it's just like, I mean, the whole thing is really solid. It's not one of those, because when we usually talk about this, it's like, all right, the first track is a killer and the last track is a killer, and on this one it seems like the whole thing is just kind of flows.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The way you talk a lot about sequence in an album and how things come in and come out. And I mean, the thing is, there's got to be, and I've never produced a record, I've never produced anything like that, but when you look at this album, and just like any other Stryper album that's out there, and you've got heavy stuff, you've got rock stuff, you got melodic stuff, you've got a ballad. How do you put a sequence together of making sure that it flows really well, and the listener is going to think the flow of that album was really good, that you're not putting too many hards in a row, or I need to make sure I put my ballad in the right place, and all of this kind of stuff that goes into not just writing the lyrics and making the songs and doing the production, but in what order am I going to put these songs in. That's something special somebody does to make an album flow the way a listener can not turn it off or feel like, oh, that's too many of this in a row, or too many of that in a row, or this is too similar to that song when it comes to sequence of an album.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, you want to hit them in the face coming out of the box. I mean, and do something not necessarily lower tempo, but I mean, something more. If we're talking about Stryper, so there'll be like 2 or 3 songs in the pop-ish, and then we'll have a ballad, and then we'll kick it back in. I mean, the back end, because we know this band. I mean, towards the back end, they always have like the heavier stuff. They'll have a couple
Yeah.
of heavier things in the beginning, and then we'll just kind of, move through it. But this record to me had like a really good balance. It wasn't like, all right, I'm punching you in the face in the first song, and then we're gonna just chill for a few songs, and then I'm gonna punch you in the face at the end. This record to me was different.
Yeah. Yeah, it's with this particular album, as I was saying, I'm not the music nerd that you are, and I don't mean that in a negative way because you call yourself a
Really
music
cool.
nerd. I just don't want. I know you know. I didn't mean it that way, but I just want to make sure our listeners know I'm not calling you that. You call yourself a music nerd. That, like you said, you got to have the first song kind of hit you in the face, like get you amped up to listen to the rest of the songs. And sometimes when I hear the first song on an album, I'm like, okay,
You
I am not sure about how the rest of this album is going to go,
Yeah, get
but
better.
how it's kind of like, the introduction of a book, the first chapter, the first sentence. What can I do to make sure that they're going to turn to page 2?
That's a
And that's what
great.
you've got to do with putting together an album. What can I do to hit them in the face to make sure that they're going to listen not only to the entirety of this song, but want to hear the next song and
Yeah,
then want to hear the next one and keep the pages turning or keep the music going. It's an art to put in my mind because it's an art to put a sequence together. Because when I was in radio back in the day, not that I did it perfectly, but I had to sometimes, we would put we just say play these tracks, but then I would look at it and I would go, this flow is terrible. So I would go in and I would move tracks around to make sure that it's flowing versus, oh, look, we've got all these songs together that sound just alike, or all these songs that sound just alike. Let's put a certain flow to it. And of
absolutely.
course, it was the flow that I liked. Who knows if other people liked it, but it was the flow that I thought would work, coming
It's just
out.
no,
So,
it's just well, that's the same. I mean, the same thing, though, dude. I mean, how do we want our listeners to, experience what we're doing? So yeah, that's
yeah.
sequencing is important. I mean, I'm not a freaking album producer, but sequencing is definitely important.
So we've got 7 songs left and we're in an hour and a half in. So let's
Oh
go
my
on to your number
gosh.
7. Well, I'll go ahead and do my number 7
Yes, go ahead.
because we just talked about it. Another good song, Till Death Do Us Part. That was my number
Oh,
7.
okay.
So
All right.
it, and again, an incredible song. It's not one, I mean, for me, because when I think, and the reason this one ranked at number 7 for me, when I think of love songs, and I think of, because I am a softy at heart like you, I think this song hit me. Also, is it one that I can share with my wife that'll hit her as well?
Right.
And I know,
I sent this song to my wife today.
and so I know this one would not hit her. So it doesn't necessarily hit me as much as, something like the other ballad or the other love song on this album would, because it's just like those kind of songs. It's something that I want to experience and have that relation with those songs, that my wife can relate to them, as well. And that's to me what really makes, when we talk about a love song or a song for your wife, is it hitting both of us. And that's what really pushes something like that up to the top of my list. So I know with this one, it's not hitting with her because I just know her style of music.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I sent this one to my wife earlier today. Just I don't know. When it comes to like love songs that I think are kind of I, I am kind of a softie. I mean, I love old school like George Benson and just old school love songs, um, but yeah, I understand. There's a
Hey,
yeah,
man, we grew up in the '80s. Lyrics, that's why we were adults at 10 years old. We were listening to love lyrics, growing us up prematurely. So, hey,
well, whatever. I mean, it is what it is,
yeah.
but
But I've
yeah, I
always
mean,
been like you. I've always liked a good love song. I've always liked a good one. But, one that I did send to her, which I'm not sure if she ever, I think it got lost in her text messages, so I don't even know if she ever listened to it, but I did send her "Tried and True" by Sweet and Lynch. So, I thought that she might find that one a little bit different, a little bit bluesy, a little bit, kind of in that vibe, but I was like, "Did you ever listen to that?" "Oh, that got lost in my text messages," and so I don't know if she ever listened to it
I
or not,
can't
but
see Lori listening to that. But hey, whatever. But
yeah.
but no,
I think
dude.
I think that one hit me though when I originally first heard it, and then when I hit it again, I was like, I really like this song. So
Yeah, no, lyrically it's great, but yeah, it's like, you send it to the wife or whatever, and it's just like, okay, how's this gonna hit? So, hey, gotta shoot your shot.
yes, you do, you do. You never know what might resonate.
Absolutely.
But she did, like I said earlier, she did like Lord a lot.
Well, that doesn't surprise me too much, but yeah.
All right, number
All
seven
right.
for you.
Man, this is where it's starting to get, like, just funky. See, Way, Truth, and the Life. Man, I just love when when Stryper does Bible stuff. I mean, it's and it's outside of my box because it's a slower song and it's like just like I said before, it's plotting, but the subject matter, I really love it. See,
Yeah,
that's it's kind of and the more we go through this catalog, it's like, man, I'm definitely listening to the lyrics with a more critical ear. Because I mean, obviously, musician ears, but I'm listening to and thinking about it's like, holy crap, trying to reference. All right, where are we at in the Bible on this? Because I mean, I'm getting used to listening to some of these songs, and it's just like, oh, they're referencing this particular scripture, and I mean, that's really cool. I totally love it. so so anyway, that's how I feel about this song. But
yeah, I've got this one a little bit higher. I'm looking at my list now. Yes, I got it a little bit higher, so I'll get to my reasoning on that. But again, the way, the truth, and the life. I mean, this right here, I'm looking at it. I am the way and the truth. I am the life to be. No one comes to the Father except only through me. I mean,
yeah,
that's exactly those were Jesus's words. And like you said, the song is coming from the perspective of, and again, it's another one that hits, from a faith base, like, there's so many people out there. Well, you can get to God this way. You can get to God being a good person. You can get to God through this. And they're like saying, no, you come to him through me, in essence, through Christ.
yeah. No, it's this one. I mean, it's hard to put this one this low, but just the lyrics are just man. It's like, all right,
Yeah.
I could literally open my Bible and like read through what you're saying.
Yeah, I know. It just, yeah, those, I'm like you. I like these types of songs, and I think that's probably why I have it rated just a little bit higher. But my number 6, I'll go ahead and say my number 6 because we've already talked about it because you had it ranked at number 10, was See No Evil.
Tell me why. Tell me why.
With this, I think really, I have this one ranked at number 6, and this may sound stupid because I just have 5 other songs that I like a little bit better than See No Evil.
Okay.
I mean, lyrically, I mean, when you're looking at this particular song, I mean, dangers of ignoring corruption and, evil present in the world. I mean, it's, going back to where we are in this world, and I'm not trying to get political as I say this, but
say what you want.
I think so many of us have that think like you and I do, that I know sometimes I'm quiet when I should speak out because I have this fear of what's the backlash going to be? What's the repercussion? What could somebody think, say? Even if I put something on, like politically, if I put something on Facebook and then one of my coworkers sees it, even though it may not be deranged, it may not be crazy, it may not be conspiracy, but if I align myself with a certain party, oh, you're a racist then. Oh, you're a this then. Oh, you're, whatever it might be. So there are times, but sometimes when I look at the other side, and it's both ways. I'm not trying to say one side's better than the other. It's because I think when evil is evil, you call it out. Even if it's your own party, you call out the evil within your own party. But sometimes if I say something about one party, the other side is automatically going to think that I line up 100% with this side, but there are things that I see politically on a side that I align more with, that I'm like, what are you doing? This is stupid, but if I put something out like that, then my other friends will be like, oh, he's turned, he's this way now. And it's just like, I mean, it's so, but I mean, again, I like the song. It's just, honestly, I've got 5 more that I like a little bit better that, I would say going into the next 5, with the exception of one, kind of had a thing that kind of spoke to me. But this one here, it's, you don't want to lose your soul at the end of the day either. I don't know. I'm rambling.
No, dude, ramble on, dude. You're good. You're fine.
So that's where number 6 came in for me. What was your number 6?
I'm gonna go, man. This is where it gets funky because I love this song, Near. It's a freaking really well written love song, and when I was listening to it today, I was like, dude, this is one that hit me. So I really like this song.
Yeah.
So, cause hell, dude, we've both been married for ever.
Forever.
So it's like when you hear a cool love song, it does kind of hit you. So yeah, we've been.
Yeah, 31. You just had 31. You had 31 this past week, man.
Last week. So I mean, I would take a bullet for my bride. So but this is a good love song.
Yeah.
So that's where.
Yeah. I've got this one rated higher, but I agree with you on rating. It's a great song.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
and
it's really
20.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, we're almost 25 episodes in. If you've been listening to all of them, you should know that I'm a ballad guy. So I'm going to love songs most of the time like this. So I've got this one higher.
No, I
for
mean, this
me.
is a good song. Yeah, and if you know you've been listening to us, then you know I'm usually the heavy guy, but this song is, you know, I can dig it. I can dig a good love song.
Yeah, I
So
know. So I guess we're at number 5 now. On with the countdown. You
on
want to
with
go
the
with your number 5?
countdown. Oh my goodness, on with the countdown. Oh, ashes to ashes.
The closer on the album.
This one was funky for me because Mike's got a opening vocal tone that I wasn't used to, and this totally Priest right here. And we talk about how much Van Halen influence they have on this band. The more I listen, and the more we've been doing this, freaking Judas Priest, man. I mean,
Yeah.
it's all over this band.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, we talk about it, and I think probably why we probably say Van Halen more is because I feel like that's who Michael Sweet, when he's talking about, he talks about Eddie a lot. He talks about that influence. But I agree with you. The more that I listen, especially to the back half of their catalog, there's more Priest type like vibe going into some of their songs.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I love it when he gets into the chorus though.
I mean, his vocal work on this, I mean, just this whole thing, but particularly on this song, he had like in the first verse, he had like this really just grungy vocal kind of, and I was digging it. So, like I say, I haven't listened to this record for a while, but yeah, in my notes I was like, Mike's vocal tone is just it's dirty. It sounds great.
Yeah. And I think that's why I like this one a little bit on it. It was kind of different.
Yeah,
It
totally.
stood out to me. It stood out to me a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely does. Because I mean, his vocal tone is just it's grungier, and then he does that.
And if you're on a platform, he did one of his, and you didn't hear it, it was one of the signature screams from Michael Sweet.
Yeah, I mean, it's yeah, it was kind of silly that he can do that and then just go 4 octaves up and do something else. So, yeah.
Yeah, I will say this is kind of funny. Hopefully my wife won't listen to this part of the show here. But so when I was driving in the other day, knowing we were going to be talking about this album, I rented a car because I knew people were going to be riding around with me and driving with me. So I normally drive a big F-250, and I'm like trying to think about ladies climbing into my truck this week. So I rented a Camry, and when I get into one of those small cars, I forget how fast you can start going, and it just feel really smooth after riding in a big truck. So I'm sitting in here in traffic and I'm listening to this album, and if you've listened to this album before, just think about driving and listening to this thing at the same time. There was one time I looked down and it was mid-90s, and I went, oh, I guess I better pull it back a little bit.
I mean,
So
hey man, that's the power of metal. It'll make
and then when you're here listening to songs like this, it's like you're just flying.
it'll make you get a speeding ticket.
Yeah, I know. It was just, but going from that Ford F-250 down to the Toyota Camry, and it's just this smooth little ride, and all of a sudden I'm looking down, and it's like, whoa! Didn't realize I was going that fast, but it was fun.
I can't imagine going like fast in a Camry.
So, but no,
compared.
I'll talk about ashes when I get there. But my number five, you've talked about it already. It's kind of the same thing. It's the way, the truth, and the life. Lyrically, it's straight from the Bible. It's just a driving song. It's, hey, we always say they are going to write their truth. They're going to sing their truth. They're going to speak what they truly, really, really believe. And this is just one of those songs that lines up with who they are, where they are. I mean, Michael Sweet talks about it. I think he talked about it this week when he posted the To Hell with the Devil album cover. Hey, if we had sung about this, probably could have sold even more albums. But, that's the thing. He talks about that sometimes. We could have written about this stuff and we probably would have sold more albums, but we were called to do this. And I am glad we stayed on this path, which I am too, Michael. If you ever listen to these, I'm glad you stayed true. But I mean, the way, the truth, and the life is just another solid, heavy, biblical song that just pulls it from, like, again, you write a song like this, they're going to reach people that aren't going to be reached by what I call, don't take this the wrong way, the sucking lemons, like the 3-piece suits and all that kind of stuff on a Sunday morning. You're going to reach the people more outside, not going to church with these types of lyrics and music behind it.
Sucking lemons. I don't think I've heard that from you before.
Yeah, you got to walk in and got to put on a sour face.
No, you're just talking about traditional church.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, no, I get that, but, yeah, I mean, that's been the whole, I feel like that's been the whole message, air quotes, of this band since we've been teenagers. It's like, we're trying to bring people in that necessarily wouldn't even go to church. So,
exactly.
So yeah, it's like, that's why they're so. There's been very few bands that have been as influential as bringing people into the fold, especially younger kids. I mean, we had Petra back in the day, but that was more poppy. But and Tourniquet's about to go back on tour. But that being said, yeah, I think Stryper as a band and just bringing younger kids during that era of music. I don't know. I don't think there's anybody that's done it better.
Yeah. No, I'd agree with you because you bring up the band like Petra, and I'm not taking anything away from them, but because I used to listen to them all the time, but at the same time, they were more geared towards the people that were in the church,
right.
Where, because we know that they just went on tour recently. They were going to churches and being at a church, and if I am a non-church person and don't want to step inside a church, it's going to be hard for me to say, hey, come see Petra at my church, versus, hey, come with me and see Stryper at the Masquerade. Come see Stryper with me at Center Stage. Come see Stryper with me at the Whiskey.
Sounds way better.
So it sounds like, hey, I may not be able to relate to the message, but they're playing in a bar or a gig. Whatever it might be. Because, it's just like you go to a Petra concert, and I'm not saying this bad, but if you go when they were touring last year or the year before, you're not going to go to the church and be able to say, hey, can I have a beer?
True. No, true enough. No, I love the whiskey analogy. Yeah, it's like they're still a rock band, so it's like,
yeah,
you can go see them at, like, we've seen them at multiple clubs, so it's that's a funky analogy, and I appreciate that.
So, and I just like it like that. So, that was my song, right? Yeah, that was me. I did the way, the truth, and the life. You did ashes to ashes. So I'm going to go ahead and give my 4.
Okay.
because it's one you've already done and we just talked about it, and it's Ashes to Ashes. I think I just like that song, I think that's the song that was playing that I almost got in trouble with the other night on the road, but it's just a good where are my notes at? I mean, it's just a good reminder in a sense. I mean, ashes to ashes. I mean, some people might go, well, what the heck is that about? Well, you were formed, you'll return. And this time in between is very fleeting. And it's kind of funny when you think of it that way. Like, our life is very short, that this was a driving speed type song, you know, to kind of be like, yeah, it goes by as fast as it's almost like life goes by as fast as this song is moving.
That's a good analogy, man.
And so we got to really be thinking internal eternal perspective versus just this little segment of time in life. So, but I like it. I like that song.
Now, well, yeah, obviously I do too, but yeah, that's a great analogy. Yeah, because we're here for a minute, and then we're not. So
And I mean, as you know this, as you get older, you know, when you're younger, 20 years seems like forever. 15 years seems like forever. But then when you get into your 50s, it's like, no, it's gone by pretty quick, you know?
right. Yeah, no, that's a good. Yeah, that's a good. I mean, that's a good one. I don't have any problem with any of the lyrics on any of these songs. I feel like lyrically, this is one of their stronger records, to be honest.
Yeah.
Um, and it's, you know,
Well, I think it goes back to that whole theme of the album, like the final battle, end times, because it's like, it's almost like if we are living in the end times, I'll just say it that way, then your message better be, and I'm not saying this about Stryper, but the way we communicate with people, if we really believe we're in the end times, the way we speak, our communication, our conversations are going to be a little bit different than thinking, oh, we've got another 2,000 years until the end times, you know? So it's going to be a little bit more of lyrically, biblically, a little bit more stronger of a punch, in
yeah,
my opinion.
yeah, no, I don't disagree with that. Um, yeah, there's a lot of love, and there's definitely some biblical. I even have it in my notes. It's like when was talking about way, truth, life. It's like, yeah, this Bible stuff, and I just anytime I can walk through a biblical story with Stryper in a song, then they they usually do a pretty freaking good job.
Yeah. I know. I mean, talking about it, I don't know. I just all of a sudden just got excited about their new album. It's just like, oh man, I can't wait till the album comes out later this year.
Oh heck yeah, man! I mean, we're fans, you know, for better or for worse.
For 40 plus years now.
Well, I say that to my wife all the time when stuff gets, sideways. It's like, "Hey, man, for better or for worse, it's
I'll
not."
have to start saying that.
Well, we we, uh, we basically decided that, a few years ago, it's like, if I need to bury a body somewhere, can you hook me up?" And she was like, "Yep." I was like, "Well, I
We
guess
can do
we're
it.
I guess we're good." Not that I'm planning on murdering somebody, but
So what did you have at number 4?
oh, number 4, I had at Heart and Soul. Um, I
Huey
man,
Lewis.
yes. She's got a heart.
No, no, not talking about that.
I thought it and kind of going against my opinion from other songs, this one's slow, but the lyrics are really good. And Rob's doing some, like, he's got a cool groove going on, but there's some falsetto that Mike is doing, like, it's at the end, but he's doing some stuff throughout the song that vocally is just, and I feel like I say this every freaking episode, he's doing some just wild stuff. So yeah, I don't know. This song to me was like, it kind of had the whole package wrapped up, and I don't know. Everything that makes me like a song was kind of in the song.
Yeah. No, I hear you on that, and I'm sitting here. I'm tracking with where we're at. We're heading into our top 3 from this album, and we're both gonna have two. We're gonna have the same songs in our top 3. 2 of our top 3 are the same. They may not be in the same order, but they ended up in our top 3.
Nice. Well, I mean, I figured I had some opinions on what our top 5 would be. So, yeah.
And so my number 3, wait, this was number 4.
Yep.
For you. Yeah, so we're on number 3. We're going into number 3 right now. My number 3 was Rise to the Call. I love this song.
No, this song is a freaking banger. Gave me more Judas Priest feels.
Yep, I was about to say it's more of a Judas Priest vibe to it, so it's really ends up being that it's just, I mean, be strong and courageous. I mean, rise to the call. Just another stand up for what you believe. Another anthem call that Stryper has done in the past. Another heavy driven song. Just encourages you just to stand against the flow that's coming against you on a day-to-day basis. But I just love when it gets into this chorus part. It just seems like the background vocals on it are just like, you can hear their passion coming through as they're singing it. So I just, the way that this song flows together and the lyrically as it comes out, it just ends up being one of my favorites off of the album.
Yeah, I mean, the vocals were the part that kind of stepped out for me on this song. I mean, it's fast, it's going, and it does have a lot of Priest vibe, but you've got the gang right here, the gang vocals right there, but
yeah.
But it's like Mike does some stuff like towards the end of the song that it's like it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think he steps up like 3 or 4 octaves at the end of the song, and it's just. And
I like what is going on in the background. If you're able to hear the music, it's about 2 minutes in. I love when they transition from the verses and the chorus, and they kind of slow it down for a minute with just the drums, and then coming back into this guitar solo.
Yeah,
I just love how they did that.
Yeah, the bridge is freaking. It's sweet because it kind of brings it to halftime, and I love the song. So,
what did you have at number 3?
Number 3, I had Rise to the Call.
Yeah, so we both had Rise to the Call.
Yeah, we have the same one. We have the same one. So, I don't know, man. This thing it's just a freaking banger, and some of the vocal stuff that Mike does.
Yep, that right there.
I mean, it's typical Mike, but I mean, there's some. I don't forget, but it's like this guy is such a phenomenal singer. I just feel like he's I feel like I need to go out and like promote him or something because I mean I feel like he's underrated.
Yeah.
So, that's my thing. I mean, this song is awesome from top to bottom.
Yeah, just that little last part right there.
Yeah,
You know,
that's awesome.
that is a cool little Pete to it. So I'll go ahead and jump into my number 2 because you already talked about it. And again, probably comes as no surprise. It's not the heaviest song on the album. It's actually the slowest song on the album, but it's near. I just think lyrically, this is one that just resonates with me throughout. I love the ballads. I love his vocals.
This is a good one.
I just love everything about this particular song here. So I'm not going to dissect it too much for the sake of time, because we're now over 2 hours and
shocker.
So, but I love this song, and it ended up number 2. I mean, if you listen, me being a ballad guy probably doesn't surprise you, because Even the Devil Believes, This I Pray, ended up being number 1 for me off of that album. So,
no, this is
and I think, and I'll be honest with you on this as I speak honestly about honestly. I love these ballads on the back half of their career so much more than I do off of To Hell with the Devil and In God We Trust. Now, I do like First Love off of Soldiers Under Command. I do like Lady on Against the Law, because it was a different vibe from Honestly and I Believe in You. But these ballads that they have done on the back half, I have loved these ballads so much more than I like the ballads from To Hell and Within God We Trust.
I haven't thought about that, but lyrically, I can see that.
Yeah.
I haven't tried to deconstruct the songs individually, but lyrically, as we've been going through this, lyrically I can definitely see, because I mean they're hitting me. So I mean, yeah, the love song parts and that kind of stuff. Yeah, okay, I can see that. I guess I haven't paid that much attention, because I always just listen to the music and not so much the lyrics. But as we're going through this and listening to the lyrics more, I can see why you would say that.
Yeah, it's almost like what I've said before. Next Stryper concert, if Honestly is not played, I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
totally fine with it, because I love these so much more than Honestly.
Well, and it also seems like there's more layers.
Yes,
to these songs,
I would agree.
To these songs, the newer songs than the stuff that was on MTV. So yeah, okay, all right. I'm picking up what you're putting down. So yeah.
Because I mean, think about it. Honestly, and I Believe in You, All of Me, did not have a guitar like Near does right now.
Right. No, I mean,
it was more keyboard driven. It was more,
yeah,
and that's just the way it was in the 80s. But
that's what I was about to say. It's more keyboard driven. The ballads were always more keyboard driven, but
yeah,
no, these are more complete songs. So yeah,
and I would think most songs that were keyboard driven, this is just my opinion, other people may have different opinions other than this, but songs from the 80s that were more keyboard driven are the ones that don't necessarily translate into 2025. No, we're in 2026 now, into 2026 as well as other songs that we listened to growing up, that maybe the keyboard was just kind of like a background piece, but I feel like if the keyboard was kind of the front layer or the front part of the song, those kind of did not age well. And that's just my opinion.
Well, don't necessarily. The first thing that popped in my head was Europe.
Yes.
So, no, I think the way they structured the songs on the backside were a little better as far as the putting the guitar in the right place, and there was not a lot of keyboard and that kind of stuff, and it's not, it's honestly is a great song, but
Yeah.
it's very of its time.
Yes, I would agree with you on that. That's a good way to say it.
So, but anyway, yeah,
Number 2
it's
for you.
well, I want to give you
Go ahead and finish your thought.
no, I want to give you a little bit of a shout out because as we're doing this and we're going through all these records, because I know you're a bigger fan of the back half of the catalog, and I appreciate the fact that I've had to listen to like this stuff again, because I really haven't done it a lot in the past who knows how many years. But but no, it's cool. I mean, it's cool listening to it with a different ear and listening to all the lyrics and all the production and all that kind of stuff. So that this has been a fun exercise for sure.
Yeah, it definitely has. Because this is our last album that we're doing like this.
Shh. Don't tell them that.
Until they come out with a new album.
Right. So then we have to go do that. Out, up. Dang it.
Out, up, and in.
Yes, out, up, and in. This one was funky for me. But it somehow it just kind of, I don't know, it just kind of hit me in the feels. I like the lyrics, and it's just got this little funky groove to it, and
yeah, I hear that.
So I don't know, it just kind of like I say, I'm a freaking drummer, so I'm always listening to the groove, but this kind of has a swing to it that they don't usually come up with, because if you're like sitting here listening to it, it's like back and forth. But I don't know, I just really like a lot of what's going on in this song. I mean, and of course Mike's doing Mike stuff, but I do like they're getting into these minor chords, and I'm just like, what? This doesn't sound like a Stryper song, which is kind of why I like it. So, I mean, except for Mike, I mean, he sounds like Mike, but there's some weird guitar progressions going on in here that I really like. So, and I love the lyrics. So,
yeah, it is. This is ranked much lower for me. No wonder you shook your head when you first said this. But so with that, with you rating the song number 2, outside of Heart and Soul, out, and in, or out, up, and in. Sorry, we pretty much were just a couple of songs off.
Yep.
Except for and then I had Near. I think much. Yeah, I had Near a little bit higher than you, but. With that being said, 2 weeks in a row we come in with the same song. Same song as number 1.
I mean, come on. How can you not have this not number 1?
I mean, I like what somebody said on this. This is the ultimate opener. It's aggressive. I mean, and then just when he jumps right into this scream right here at the beginning, I mean, just listen for a second. It's still going.
I mean,
wait, it's still going. Hold on. It's still going. Oh, it's over now. 15 or 20 seconds, man. I mean,
it's probably more than that, but yeah. Nah, dude, this song is just it's a freaking banger. It- and it has all the stuff that you need in a Stryper song. I mean, the lyrics are solid. They break it down in the bridge. We got a little bit of a solo in there, and it's not the traditional Stryper solo, but it's still freaking good. And yeah, I mean, I don't know how you say this song sucks because it's.
And then,
go ahead.
and I was just going to say, they get into the verse here, and I mean, again, taking Jesus's words right again with this type of song. You know, wide is the entrance and broad is the way that leads to destruction and robs you of days. I mean, just right there from the beginning. I mean, another song that they're pulling directly from, you know, from the Bible.
No, I mean, for me, this is like one of just quintessential Stryper. It's like, all right, I need the solid, I need the guitars, but I also want a Bible story. I don't know. I just love this stuff from them because they do it really well.
Yeah, they do. I mean, it's. I think that's the thing with him, you know, because I feel like you look at some of these bands that came out in the 2000s, you know, and they end up being a Christian band, however you want to make the term, and then they end up deconstructing their faith, and they're not even considered, you know, they don't even consider themselves believers or followers of Christ anymore. But when you listen, because Michael is the one writing all this stuff, you don't just sit there and go, especially after listening to songs like we've talked about today, Ashes to Ashes, The Way, the Truth, and the Life, Wide is the Gate. I mean, he pulled this comes out of Matthew 7:13, because I just looked it up. I was like, okay, where did Jesus say that at? Wide is the gate, broad is the way that leads to destruction. You know that this stuff that he's writing, because he's been doing it for 40 plus years now, you know this is who he is. This is who's in him, or this is what's in him. And then there's just this one part too here at the end of the song that I just absolutely love. I'll point it out when I think it's coming out right here. Let's see if this is it. Yeah.
I mean, absolutely ridiculous.
So I think that's the thing I appreciate about these lyrics is that you know that he's writing this because it's in his heart. It's not just something that he just does or is just, you know, whatever it is.
Right.
You know, this is coming from deep within him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we've ever questioned this guy's, you know, faith or writing or any of that. Good grief. I know. Those vocals are absolutely ridiculous, but we've never had it since we've been doing this. We've never questioned where those lyrics were coming from, and that's cool because I'm not wasting my time. You're not wasting your time. We know exactly what's going on with this group, which is, you know, why we've been big fans forever. And, you know, it it is what it is. They're very, I feel, transparent for a rock band.
Yeah, they definitely are. They don't, and you know, and honestly, it's something that I can sit down because I mean, I don't want to say I keep my son in a bubble, but you know, he's 7. There are certain things I'm going to let him listen to and certain things that I'm not going to let him listen to.
Sure.
And it's nice to know that I can hop in the car if I'm in the mood for Stryper, I can put that on because it's lyrically, I'm not going to worry about what he's hearing at that moment and time. So, and he's a fan of Stryper now. So, you know,
Well, and it's not lame. So
yeah,
it's not like
it's
you're
not
listening.
lame.
It's not like you're listening to the Fish or something.
But you know what's funny? For us to not as been prepared for this album, This might end up being our longest episode.
I was just looking at the clock and I'm like, God, we just don't know when to shut up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here going, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe we're almost 2 hours and
Two,
20 minutes in."
yeah, 2:17, man. Whatever. Hey, we like talking about this stuff.
Yes, we do,
Nothing wrong
because
with it.
it's
Nothing wrong with it at
no,
all.
nothing wrong with it at all. You are exactly right. So, Transgressor was number 1 for us. That wraps it with The Final Battle, which was not their final album because they came out with When We Were Kings 2 years ago, 2024, and we're anticipating the release of their new album. We one thing we didn't talk about, and we could talk about this maybe next week, just for time's sake, was that he actually dropped a couple of riffs or cuts from the new Stryper album coming up.
Yeah, we need to talk about that, but yeah, for time's sake, maybe just we put that in our pocket for next week.
Yeah, let me write that down to make sure I don't forget because I'll have to go back in and find it in Facebook. So let me make sure I got that down. Striper. Yeah. And so with that being said, but next week is going to be episode 25. And as you follow and as you listen, we've already done the first 2 Sweet and Lynch albums. Next week, we're going to sidebar from talking about specifically Stryper. We're going to talk about the third Sweet and Lynch album, Heart and Sacrifice.
Which I love.
Came out in 2023. So we will be talking about that next week. And then after Sweet and Lynch, when we do every 5th episode, we've got Michael Sweet's catalog. We've got other things that are out there that we will definitely be able to talk about every 5th album. But we will wrap up the Sweet and Lynch next week unless they come out with a 4th album somewhere down the road.
Oh, I can't wait to see what we're gonna get into after the fun.
One thing that we've always talked about that we haven't done yet is
The
the controversy.
controversy. Okay, I'll make some notes. You make some notes, and we can talk about it. Because yeah, that's a thing that needs to be broadcast about.
Yeah, and when we talk about the controversy, it's a controversy that has surrounded this band since they started. Not the controversy, and when I say controversy, I'm not talking about controversy from things that they did. It's the controversy surrounding this album because of the path they chose to follow when it comes to recording and making music and what they sing about.
Well, I
So,
mean, that's the thing there. They were on the strip. I mean,
yeah,
they were in that whole ecosystem with, Crew and Rat and Poison and all those guys, and they did and they managed to keep their faith and all that stuff intact, and I'm just like, "Man, that." And that's part of the reason is that we like this band, we love this band, it's like their ethics and their faith and everything has not really ever been wavered too much. But yeah, I mean, it's amazing that they were able to kind of keep their stuff together.
yeah, it absolutely is. So, but here we are, end of episode 20. Looking forward to next week's conversation. And again, that's a wrap on The Final Battle. Maybe not one that I reach for, as we discussed earlier, right off the bat when we think about the newer stuff. But overall, it's a very solid album.
No, very solid.
Now that, and maybe it's because too, I've never really taken time because I know in the past we've talked about, we went and saw When We Were Kings. We've seen them on tour for the different albums and stuff like that. And now, after talking it through with you, it's just like, yeah, this album is really, really good. And being able to get thoughts and everything and hearing the music again this morning. So if you haven't listened to it, go listen to it.
Yeah,
And
it's a good one.
because which is the basis of this. One of the reasons we wanted to do this was because there were so many people, hey, we're going to do a podcast on Stryper. Why? They only
Right,
did like 4 albums. Well, where have you been? So they've
right.
done a lot more.
Yeah.
Not just Stryper, but solo stuff as well. But this is going to drop Tuesday morning. So hope you all have a great rest of your week. Don't forget to like, and subscribe wherever you're listening to us at. And we will see you guys next week.
Thank you.